everyone. This is Lisa Andrus, Psychic Medium, and this is your weekly reading for April 27th through May 3rd. And this week, as you can see, I'm using a deck I don't use too often, but it is a pretty nice deck, pretty straightforward messages, and for all of us that are light workers. And if you're watching this video, you are a light worker, which means you're here on earth to help other people in addition to living your own life purpose. Part of your life purpose is global, in that you're here to touch and reach other people. Now, one thing they want me to say before I go through the cards for the week is that it's okay. Whatever you're going through right now, there's really nothing to be afraid of, although it's very human to feel fear, to be worried. They need you to know that it's okay. That sometimes when you pray, the best thing you can do, even if you don't understand the outcome, is to just pray for the highest and greatest good for all involved. And know that you will be taken care of always. And if you hear a cat in the background, that is my cat Simone, who wants to get her voice heard. Okay. So I want to tell you that the Monday-Tuesday card for this week is Goddess. And it says, express your divine feminine energy, embracing its magical intuition and nurturing qualities. Sometimes I repress some of those qualities. It's funny how later in my life I came in touch with my inner medium and then realized I was also psychic or intuitive, and that kind of forced me to come in touch with my intuition, which I think I'd spent a lot of my lifetime repressing. I feel like this card goes hand in hand with emotion too, that it's better for us to honor our emotion than to stuff it. It's very easy. I don't know about you. I often say I'm not a real big fan. I don't like to emote. It's just easier to repress it than to feel it. But sometimes we have to feel and honor those emotions. It's far better for us to feel them now than to have them manifest themselves later. Because when we repress the emotion, it ends up going within our bodies. And if you don't honor it, sometimes it can manifest as things such as disease or sickness. And it's not being said to scare you. It's rather just being said to honor that inner piece of you that wants to grieve, that wants to express your intuition, that it's okay. You are safe upon this earth right now. You are safe in the gifts and the intuition and the creativity that you have. And it is okay for you to honor your inner goddess and express that. Okay, for the middle of the week here, we have Twin Flame. And it says, the answer to your question involves a spiritually based romantic relationship. So this is a wonderful card, especially for those of you thinking that you will never find the right person, you're wanting romance, and this could be whether you're currently in, I hear a marriage that's dead, if you're in a relationship that has served its course, and you know that it's time to go. It could be because there's something better for you, like the energy of a twin flame. And if this is not applicable to you romantically, it can also be somebody in your life that has that energy. My best friend and my best friend Kim, we had our charts read once, and we were born a year apart. Not in the same place, not many things in common other than the fact that we feel close like sisters. And when the astrologer read our charts, she said, wow, your charts are so similar. It's like the two of you were twins. And she said, honestly, I intuitively feel that it's entirely possible that you shared a womb in another lifetime. And what's interesting about the story of the two of us is both of our families are from the East Coast of the United States, her family being from New Jersey, mine from New York. And we both landed in the same spot in Minnesota and met each other in high school. And now we've been friends for over 25 years, and neither of us have a sister, and I often call her the sister of my heart. So if this doesn't apply to you romantically, it could be a relationship that is a very close relationship. But I really think that this is about romance for those of you that have been wondering where your person is, or if you're like me, I feel like I'm through with love. I just don't want to be bothered with it. But because I've just had some hard endings and just don't feel like, I feel like there's so much of my life that is working out and put together, and this just doesn't feel like something that I want to work on anymore. I'm just going to move forward, and we'll let things happen as they happen. But if you are like that, or if you are hurt or grieving another relationship, which is interesting because, as always, these cards always work together, and we were talking about grief in the Goddess card. It's time for you to grieve that heartbreak, grieve that relationship that didn't work out, so that you can actually move forward and find the person that is your soulmate, your twin flame. Because until you take care of your stuff, you may not be open to receive that love. But you need to really realize that you're worthy no matter where you're at in life. If you think you're too old, your looks aren't up to par, if you are overweight, underweight, don't feel like you're worthy, think again, because there's somebody out there that is coming for you. Don't look too hard, they say, but know that the synchronicities will align themselves when both of your souls are ready. And if you've never had this before, the time is now. So even if you don't see evidence of this, trust that it is coming. Okay, and then the card for the weekend is Cut Your Cords, and it says, ask Archangel Michael to clear my old attachments to fear that stem from my past relationships, freeing you from destructive patterns. So this is something that, again, all these cards are related this week, and we just talked about cutting the cords from our past relationships. So as you're moving forward towards what it is that you want, whether it's romantic relationship or otherwise, it's a good thing to ask Archangel Michael to cut your cords. The cords mean cords of energy that are fear-based, that sometimes when we interact with other people, whether we know it or not, for instance, being in a crowd, I feel that sometimes as light workers, people are just drawn to us. Whether we actually physically interact with them or not, we've got a bright light shining. And some people just attach some cords to us. It's nothing to be afraid of. It's just to say that if you have been feeling non-energetic or wondering why you don't feel great, sometimes it's nice to cut your cords. I'm also hearing the word permission, and I feel like you have to ask to cut your cords as a part of permission to move forward. If you're stuck in an old love relationship, you have to have the courage to cut your cords. You have to give permission for Archangel Michael to cut your cords so that you can move on to something better. And I see somebody that really has a fear of letting go of that person that they thought it might work out with, like an old relationship from the past, afraid to move on, thinking, well, maybe, just maybe. But what they're saying is no. It doesn't mean that will never be, but there's something better for you. If it's an old relationship that you're wondering about with this twin flame, I hear no. Sometimes, even though we love people so much with all of our hearts, I feel like when I am in a relationship, and there's many of you that will understand this, I give it my all. And it makes the heartbreak all the worse than when the relationship, for whatever reason, ends. And we might romanticize that, especially when we lack romance or we lack love. But we need to know that there's something better for us. I don't presume to know why I've had so many relationships, marriage and otherwise, that has not worked out. But I know that there are elements to my life that I may not always understand. And I have to trust that there's something better for me, that I won't always be alone unless I choose to be. There's the free will of both parties, right? But regardless of whether I'm going to be alone or you choose to be alone, it's still healthy to cut cords to past relationships, especially in regards to romance, or if you've had a friendship that, or a business relationship or some other relationship that has really broken your heart. Ask Archangel Michael to cut your cords so that you can move on, and cut your cords of fear in any area of your life. He won't cut the cords of love and all of the good cords that you have, just the ones that are attached to you, kind of like an energy attachment or psychic dagger, if you will, sometimes. Just ask him to cut your cords and vacuum you from head to toe. Here's what I love about this reading is that it's romance, and I feel like some of the readings sometimes lack romance, and there's so many of you that are wondering, where is my romance? Where is my twin flame? And they want you to know that it's all going to work out better than you expect. So try to get out of the way of imagining how, and just open your arms and say, I accept the love that is coming to me. And say, I want the love that is for my greatest and highest good and the greatest and highest good of the other person. And then you have to trust that the synchronicities will all work out perfect and better than you plan. Just keep an open mind. I'm kind of seeing that the person might go outside of what it is that you normally expect for romance, but that's because things are better than they ever were before. So keep an open mind and know that you're going to have a wonderful romantic life ahead, even if you don't see evidence, think you want it, or see a way out of your current situation. Great love is coming for you. So do your work in cutting your cords and clearing out some of the grief from that old relationship or the old heartbreak so that you can have the best and highest good going forward. This is Lisa Andrus, Psychic Medium. I love each and every one of you. I wish you all romance and love beyond your wildest dreams. Have a wonderful week, and I'll speak to you again next week.